Chemical coordination and integration, part 3, multiple choice questions. Let's start. Select the correct matching. Insulin decreases the uptake of glucose utilization by hepatocytes and adipocytes. Cortisol decreases the RBC production, causes inflammation. Thymosin promotes the production of antibodies to provide humoral immunity also. Thyroxine, no role in water and electrolyte balance. So among these, we need to find out the correct matching here. Insulin decreases the uptake of glucose utilization. No, it increases the uptake of glucose utilization. Cortisol decreases RBC production, causes inflammation, increases RBC production. Thymosin promote the production of antibodies to provide, yes, thymosin along with the cell mediated immunity, it also promotes the production of antibodies to provide the humoral immunity. Then thyroxine, no role in water and electrolyte balance. Thyroxine has a role in water and electrolyte balance. Select the incorrect matching. Zona fasciculata glucocorticoid, alpha cell glucagon, beta cell insulin, follicular cells of thyroid TCT, zona fasciculata of adrenal cortex, secrete glucocorticoids, that's true. Alpha cells of islets of Langerhans of pancreas secrete glucagon, that's true. Beta cells of islets of Langerhans of pancreas, insulin, that's true. Follicular cells of thyroid, parafollicular cells of thyroid gland secrete calcitonin. Parafollicular cells of thyroid gland secrete calcitonin. Here you have to check it out like this. If this is a lobe of thyroid gland, that these are the lobules. Among these lobules, so whatever the cells are present, we call them as follicular cells. These cells are called follicular cells. So in between the follicular cells, whatever present, here it is. This is the cell. This is the cell. So either side, this is follicle. This is follicle. Either sides of the follicle. This is follicle. This is follicle. So either sides of the follicle, whatever the cells are present, para follicular cell, the cells present either side in that way. So parafollicular cells of thyroid secrete calcitonin, thyrocalcitonin. Follicular cells of thyroid secrete thyroxine. Testis acts as primary sex organ, endocrine gland, both A and B, none of these. Testis acts as both primary sex organ and also it's an endocrine gland. Leydig cell or interstitial cell secrete. Leydig cell or interstitial cell secrete estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, relaxin. Between the seminiferous tubules of the testis, we have special cells called Leydig cell or interstitial cell. They secrete testosterone. We call androgens. Androgens from the following are estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, relaxin. Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, relaxin. So, the major androgen is testosterone. Anabolic effect on protein and carbohydrate metabolism influences male sexual behavior, libido, stimulate the spermatogenesis, muscular growth, aggressiveness, low pitch voice. Above are the functions of which of the following hormone? So, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, relaxin. Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, relaxin. Here it is testosterone. Testosterone is for that anabolic effect on protein and carbohydrate metabolism and influences the male sexual behavior, libido, stimulate the spermatogenesis, muscular growth, aggressiveness, low pitch voice. Select the total number of male accessory sex organs from the following: epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate, urethra. So here it is, epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate, urethra. We can say accessory sex organs. The main primary sex organ is the testis. Androgen regulates the dash of male accessory sex organ. Androgen regulate the development, maturation, function, all of these. Testis is composed of uriniferous tubule, seminiferous tubule, nephron, neuron. Testis composed of seminiferous tubules. Select the correct matching. Interstitial cell secrete testosterone, beta cell secrete glucagon, alpha cell secrete insulin, follicular cell secrete TCT, thyrocalcitonin, interstitial cell secrete testosterone, whereas beta cell secrete insulin, alpha cell secrete glucagon, follicular cell secrete thyroxine. Which one is correct about testis in human? Situated in scrotal sac outside the abdomen, consists of seminiferous tubules and Leydig cell, secretion of effect of male sexual behavior, libido. Yes, all of these. ANF leads to atrial natriuretic factor, leads to dilation of blood vessels, decreases blood pressure, both A and B, increases blood pressure. Atrial natriuretic factor will be released in our body when a condition appear, like when we drink large amount of water, the blood become more diluted, blood pressure will be increased over. At that time, ANF will come and make the dilation of blood vessel. Dilation of blood vessel, what it can do? When blood vessel is dilated, blood pressure is going to be decreased over. So, dilation of blood vessel and decreasing blood pressure. So, let's make math the following here. At atrial wall, that right atrium is going to secrete ANF, thyroid gland secrete T3, T4, TCT, parathyroid gland secrete parathormone hormone, gastrointestinal tract secrete CCK, cholecystokinin, gastric inhibitory peptide, gastrin and secretin. So, this will be the answer. A1, B3, C2 and D4. Then one more math the following here. Gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin, gastric inhibitory peptide is given. So we should start from gastrin here. Gastrin acts on the gastric gland and stimulate the secretion of HCl and pepsinogen. Okay. Then A is given 3. When A is given 3, almost all options are gone. Okay, let's continue. Secretin act on exocrine pancreas and stimulate the secretion of water and bicarbonate ion. CCK, cholecystokinin, action on both pancreas and gallbladder and stimulate the secretion of pancreatic enzyme, bile juice respectively. Gastric inhibitory peptide, which is released from the intestine, inhibit the gastric secretion and motility. So that's the answer. First option. The dash of kidney produce peptide hormone called dash, which stimulate the erythropoiesis. Erythropoiesis, which means the production of RBC, done by a hormone called erythropoietin. We have NCRT lines here. The juxtaglomerular cells of the kidney produce a peptide hormone called erythropoietin, which stimulate erythropoiesis for the formation of which means erythropoiesis means formation of RBC. So, our answer is juxtaglomerular cells, erythropoietin. Select the incorrect statement. Gastrointestinal tract secrete 4 major peptide hormones. Several other non-endocrine tissues secrete hormones called growth factor. Hormone receptors are located in target tissues only. Hormone receptors are non-specific in nature. Hormone receptors are very specific in nature. That receptors may have present outside or inside, that based on the chemical nature of that particular hormones we will find, but hormone receptors are specific in nature. So hormone will rotate all over the body, but they work only on certain tissues and organs who have their specific receptors are present on either outside the cell membrane or inside the cytoplasm or nucleus. By which organ hormones are secreted which are non-endocrine gland? Which organ the hormones are secreted which are non-endocrine gland? Heart, kidney, gastrointestinal tract, all of these. Select the incorrect matching. Hormone target organ. Secretin, pancreas, CCK, cholecystokinin on pancreas and gallbladder, ANF on atrial wall, gastrin on gastric gland. Here ANF. ANF released from atrial wall. ANF released from atrial wall, but ANF helpful for the dilation of blood vessel to decrease the blood pressure. So posterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary vasopressin stimulate reabsorption of water in the distal tubules in the nephron. So what we need to do, match the source gland with its respective hormone. Posterior pituitary source gland is vasopressin, hormone is vasopressin, posterior pituitary, okay. Stimulate the reabsorption of water in the distal tubules in the nephron, okay. Let's see the remaining. Corpus luteum, estrogen. No, I think here we should have progesterone, isn't it? Thyroid, thyroxine, regulate blood calcium level. Seems to be correct, but here instead of thyroxine, there is another thyroid gland hormone that is from the parafollicular cells of thyroid, that is thyrocalcitonin to be present here. Oxytocin from anterior pituitary, their meaning is here anterior pituitary. Oxytocin is from posterior pituitary. So, contraction of uterus muscle during childbirth, okay, but here it is wrong. So, what is our answer then? First option. Select the total number of peptide hormones from the following: erythropoietin, gastrin, secretin, gastric inhibitory peptide, cholecystokinin, insulin, glucagon, thymosin, parathyroid hormone, ANF. Among these, we need to find out the peptide hormones. That all the 10 peptide, polypeptide, protein hormones are insulin, glucagon, pituitary hormone, hypothalamic hormones. Okay, so here it is given insulin, glucagon, okay, directly given. Then pituitary hormones. Pituitary hormones means anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary will be covered there itself. Okay, so in that way, that we can say all of these are going to be the answer. 10. So peptide, polypeptide, protein hormone and steroid hormone T3, T4, iodothyronin, cortisol, testosterone. No, we should do the math the following here. Let's go through this. So among these, whom we call peptide, polypeptide and protein hormones, pituitary hormone, pancreatic hormone, hypothalamic hormones. Steroid hormone, whom we call steroid hormone, cortisol, testosterone, estradiol, progesterone, aldosterone. Iodothyronins, whom we call iodothyronin, T3, T4 are said to be iodothyronin. TSH will come under peptide hormone because TSH from anterior pituitary, isn't it? Amino acid derivatives is given as epinephrine. So that's it. Second option. A steroid hormone typically alters the activity of its target cells by. A steroid hormone typically alters the activity of a target cell by changing membrane permeability of cell, entering the cell and altering the gene expression, activation of IP3. IP3 means inositol triphosphate, conversion of the ATP to cyclic AMP. Here, steroid hormone is having a direct entry inside the cell. So that means a steroid hormone can go inside the cell, inside the nucleus even. So that means we can say that it can change the gene expression, entering the cell and altering the gene expression. Hormone receptors are located in target tissue only. Their position is in plasma membrane, in cytoplasm, in nucleus, any of the above depending on the type of hormone. Yeah, any of the above depending on the type of hormone. It may be on the cell surface, or it may be in the cytoplasm, or it may enter into the nucleus. That hormone receptor may present in the nucleus. Hormone interact with membrane bound receptor. We need to find out the correct statement. Find out the correct statement. First of all, you should focus like this. Means what is asking, correct or incorrect. So that find out the correct statement. Hormone interact with membrane bound receptors. Normally do not enter the target cells. Interact with membrane bound seems to be correct. Okay. Iodothyronins have membrane bound receptors. Hormone which interact with intracellular receptor mostly regulate gene expression. Steroid hormones generate second messengers. So we need to find out the right answer here. 1 and 3 only. Iodothyronins have entry inside, can go inside, and whereas steroid hormone do not generate the second messenger, they can go into the cell directly. So identify the A, B seed in the given figure. Example is given estrogen. It may be any steroid hormone, we can say. Any steroid hormone can be given. So estrogen is given going inside the cell membrane. Okay, so this is a cell membrane and going inside the nucleus. There it bind with the hormone receptor complex, hormone receptor complex, whereas the action happened with the DNA and some physiological response came. Let's see the answer here. Right, from NCRT text to with taken here. Here FSH is given. Whatever the same response. Okay, pick the wrong one. This is intracellular. That is extracellular. Okay, we'll go directly there. Hormone estrogen going inside hormone receptor complex. So this is a uterine cell membrane, and B hormone receptor complex. Hormone receptor complex is a particular protein, and D is a respective physiological response. A protein produced from the DNA did the particular physiological response. Find the total number of hormones from the following which binds to intracellular receptors. Which binds to intracellular receptor. That means they are asking about that steroid hormones which can go inside, isn't it? Let's take steroid hormone, cortisol, testosterone, estradiol, and progesterone. Okay, so here it is given cortisol, testosterone number 2, and progesterone is given 3, estrogen is there 4. What's another one? Cortisol, testosterone 1, 2, oxytocin, vasopressin, it will come here, isn't it? Hypothalamic hormones. And peptide, polypeptide, protein hormone. Okay, we do one thing. Let's erase very difficult area that we have to focus. Seems to be very small. This is a small paragraph from the text here. So I'm doing. Let's erase whatever not. Cortisol, okay. Testosterone, okay. Directly given. Estradiol, estrogen, nothing but. So T3, where it is? Here it is. Hold it. And glucagon, insulin. I think I can cut this. Glucagon, insulin are peptide, protein, polypeptide. They can't go into the cell. They have membrane bound receptors only. Here the question is which binds to intracellular. So it can't go. Oxytocin even can't go because oxytocin is a hypothalamic hormone. FSH even can't go because that is pituitary hormone. And progesterone, yes, progesterone, cortisol, yes, testosterone, yes, progesterone, yes, Interstitial cell stimulating hormone is anterior pituitary. So pituitary hormones is given here, protein hormone that is. Okay. Then estrogen, yes. Growth hormone, I can cut here. Growth hormone we can cut here because growth hormone is a pituitary hormone, anterior pituitary. So here it is. We got added one is T3, T4. So total number 5. Cortisol, testosterone, progesterone, estrogen. These four are given directly in the text. That you need to understand iodothyronins also have membrane bound receptors. Which of the following act as a secondary messenger? Calcium ion, IP3, inositol triphosphate, cyclic AMP, and all. All are secondary messenger. Very, very regular and important question here. Following hormones are iodothyronins, T3, T4, TCT, both A and B. Iodothyronins, T3, T4, TCT. Yes, iodothyronin thyroid hormones are both T3 and T4. T3 and T4. Which is a steroid hormone? Growth hormone, insulin, aldosterone, epinephrine. Steroid hormone. Who is steroid hormone? Cortisol, testosterone, estradiol, and progesterone are said to be steroid hormones. So, what is epinephrine here? Epinephrine is amino acid derivative. Epinephrine is amino acid derivative. Growth hormone is a pituitary hormone. That means protein hormone. Insulin and glucagon both are also the same. Okay, insulin and glucagon. So not mentioned, but you see the suffix steron, aldosterone. Okay, corticosteroids. Adrenal cortex hormones are called corticosteroid. Directly not mentioned in the NCRT. Here the NCRT paragraph I am showing, but steron and remaining are not actually, isn't it? Growth hormone is a protein hormone. Insulin, glucagon also protein hormones. Epinephrine is an amino acid derivative. Leftover is aldosterone steroid hormone. Which of the following hormone do not act by second messenger? Who do not act by second messenger? Steroid hormones and iodothyronins. They don't have second messenger. They have receptors inside the cell. So in that way, we have to find out growth hormone. Now only I said growth hormone is a protein hormone. Definitely, they should have membrane bound receptors on the cell membrane only. Who is epinephrine? Check it out. Amino acid derivative. And who is ICSH? It's a pituitary hormone. And who can go inside the cell? Who is having cell intracellular receptor? Who don't have second messenger system? That is, estrogen is not the answer in the given option. Estrogen, that you may say cortisol may be the answer, testosterone, estradiol, progesterone. Estradiol nothing but estrogen. The group of hormones, estradiol, estrol, estradiol. These group we can say estrogens. Okay, whatever. Steroid hormones, iodothyronins are having intracellular receptor. On that concept, the question is given. This kind of question seems to be simple, but you should have full command on these four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chemically, epinephrine is. Now only we are seeing. Chemically, epinephrine is an amino acid derivative, isn't it? Chemically, epinephrine is an amino acid derivative. Okay. Which hormone receptors are present in cytoplasm of target cell? Which hormone receptors are present in cytoplasm of target cell? Again, similar kind of question, that thyroxine, iodothyronin, we say having intracellular receptors, not membrane bound, present in cytoplasm. Okay. Estrogen we are seeing in case of inside the nucleus, isn't it? Here asked about cytoplasm. Arrange in sequence working of FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, biochemical response, binding to membrane receptor, biochemical response, generation of second messenger, physiological response, ovarian growth. So, where should we start? It's a membrane bound receptor binding to the membrane receptor. FSH binds with the membrane bound receptor. That means 1 and 1. Here we have the option A and B here itself. Okay. So then we should start from here. Either 2 or 3. Here the things will be decided over. What is second one? Biochemical response. What is the third one? Generation of second messenger. Yes, it is. Generation of second messenger. Then biochemical response. Then physiological response. Which hormone directly affect transcription by acting on gene? Directly affect transcription by acting on gene, going inside, steroid hormone, shown the diagram earlier. Following hormone responsible for maintenance of blood pressure: aldosterone, renin, ANF, all. Directly or indirectly, all are they doing, positively or negatively. The ANF decrease the blood pressure, the renin and aldosterone increase the blood pressure. Renin angiotensin aldosterone system is antagonistic to the atrial natriuretic factor. Okay, that's it. Thank you. We continue with the part 4 of chemical coordination and integration that might have seen over 1, 2, 3, part 1, part 2, part 3. Complexity of the questions is increasing, isn't it? Part 4 more you can expect. Okay, so doing multiple choice question, before we do multiple choice questions of my channel, I request you go fast. NCRT based single sentence questions, you will find a playlist there. NCRT based single sentence questions, search me as NEET SRIKANTH. NCRT based single sentence questions. There, in 1 hour, the total text sentences are converted as question. First of all, you try to answer those questions. Come here, match the following. Then after, we have another category, exemplar. Exemplar problems, we will find 10, 12 questions are there for each chapter. Then previous year. So, this is the complete formula. Reading the text first, and then answering NCRT based single sentence questions which are there in my channel, and 2 multiple choice questions, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Likewise, it will go on that next exemplar and previous. So, this 5-point formula will make you to get 360 in biology. Okay, then, thank you.